So my name is Sofia. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Ukraine, and I'm living in Poland, in Poznan, for like 2 years now. Yes. I'm studying in university. I'm also volunteering. Okay, when you tell me the date, 24th of February of the 2022, oh, I have these goosebumps. It's the first thing. And the second thing is like a day that separates a life like into two different parts. It's like, you are living your life, you have your plans, you are like thinking about future, and then it just like boom, and that's it. What changed for me after 24th of February? Everything. Like completely my life changed. I mean, starting from the thing that I moved like so suddenly, just like out of the blue, to another country, and I started my life in another country. And also with, I don't know, with my relationship, like with my close circle, like with my family, with my friends, because everyone changed. It has a huge influence on like every person and like in a different way. And sometimes you can like meet the person with whom you were close and you just do not recognize, and like it has like a really, really huge influence. I mean, I started my first volunteering when, like, after 2 months after I came to Poland, and it was like 3-4 months of the war, like when the war started. And first of all, I think it helped me just like to put my focus a bit to another things and to come back somehow to this like normal way of living. Because when we just came to Poland, like first like 2 months, it was so difficult, like mentally, because like I just came here with my parents and my brother, and like all of my other relatives, they stayed in the city that was occupied that time. And all what we were doing is just like, reading news, trying to call them, and just trying to understand like what's going on. And that was so stressful. And when I joined the project, for me, like I met a lot of like really nice people, and I also started to work with other Ukrainians, and I felt useful. I felt that like I can do something.
So the first picnic that we did was kind of the moment where we all started coming together as a cohesive group, still with some difficulties, with a lot of stress behind it, but the idea of it was to basically expose our cultures, show people who we were as volunteers, mainly through our food, which was very difficult to organize, but the results really made it worth it, at least for me, because people really loved it and they remembered the food, and you could see how much they were enjoying it. We had no leftovers. Then, all of the events around it, they were just really enjoyable for people, and I think that was the first proper event where I felt like this was a good project and that it really could show results. Yeah, I mean, dancing is something that makes me very happy, and when I can see people being happy with it, it's kind of like it multiplies it. It makes it double. And seeing that many people enjoying it was a great joy. That's a good video. The dance class I loved. I love dancing. It's one of the things that of my culture of Colombia that I love the most, and that I feel is the most unique and valuable, that we have that joy about it. And it's something that I want to transmit to people, especially like in some weird way. I love transmitting that to, for example, a refugee, because in Colombia we have our own war, we have a lot of displacement, which is not the same as being a refugee, but still, you know, it's a similar trauma. And we still, you know, we say we dance through it. We confront misery and pain with that kind of joy and celebration of still being alive, I guess.
Забарилась, до півночі тебе ждала, де ж той килим, що ти ткала, де ж той килим, що ти ткала, до півночі тебе ждала, де ж той килим, що ти ткала, де ж той килим, що ти ткала, ой, матусю, моя нене, не хватило ниток мене, а щоб кращі кили мати, я ще завтра піду ткати, я ще завтра піду ткати, а щоб кращі кили мати, я ще завтра піду ткати, я ще завтра піду ткати.
Okay, so we did an activity about European values to educate people a bit to European identity and values such as human rights and so on. So we tried to do it in an informal way. It was an interlanguage exchange. So we did different groups. We tried to do some games, some activities before to get them you know, into the spirit of talking to each other, and then we try to give some prompts to start a conversation about those values, because we, like, the way we work, we don't directly teach you like, oh, this is this value, like human rights means this. We want people to think about what they mean for them, and to discuss with other people with different opinions, and to think that, oh, maybe my idea is not always right, my idea can be complemented with something else.
Picnic was about the sports, and we called it Logos Olympics. And Logos Olympics means like we did some tournaments in volleyball, and we did sack race, we did egg race, and we also had our slack lines to people go on the line and walk, and it was very funny. We did some races, and after all these races and tournaments, we gave them some prizes for it. Yeah, in our picnic, in the volleyball tournament, we had maybe like 20 different countries, people, and they all played together volleyball, and you don't need any like common language to understand each other, because like there's a good thing in sports. You are playing with your team, and you don't need to be like communicate with the words. You can understand with your hands and your body language, and it's perfect for them. The specific history about the picnic, when we were doing the sack race means you are getting into the potato bag and you're running, and when they start, I think 10 people were there and doing the race. When they start, all of them start jumping. I think 5 of them just fall to the ground and didn't get up. It was very funny for me.
Okay, so I think that by doing our activities, we can help Ukrainian people in a way that they feel more integrated into community, because, for example, when refugees are coming, they feel like, you know, like in a bubble. They don't have that much understanding about the country, because like most of the time it's something like this moving, it's something unplanned. And it's happening like so suddenly, and that's why when they arrive in here, they do not know anyone, they do not know the cities, they do not know the language, and for them it's so difficult like to find friends, to find a job, like just like talk to people maybe. And that's why like by doing these activities that we are including, like we putting together Polish people, Ukrainian people, also like some international people. I think we are creating this like safe environment where they can like feel more heard, more like included, and we are helping them more like to feel like a normal life, you know. Before when I was meeting them, like some of them, they were pretty like lost, depressed, I don't know, desperate somehow. They had their life in Ukraine and they still like, you know, they couldn't accept the fact that they are here and like they just left all what they had in Ukraine and they need to start a new life here. And that's why like, yeah, some of them, they were a bit depressed. Okay, my expectation about the activity of 24th of August, it's an important day, especially now, nowadays. I think it's important not only for me, but for all Ukrainians who's gonna gather there tomorrow, because it's an opportunity to be a bit closer to your country, a bit closer to your, like, I don't know, to your roots, to your region, even though if you are living far, and to show that you still remember, you didn't forget, and yes, to show that like you care, yes.
Добрий день. Чи всі мене чути? Добре, тоді ми можемо розпочинати. Тож, сьогодні ми зібралися разом, щоб відзначити День Незалежності України. День, який символізує нашу свободу, єдність та прагнення до кращого майбутнього. Я представляю громадську організацію «Логос». Наша команда з 2017 року невпинно працює на різних напрямках едукації для молоді, а з 2022 року особливу увагу ми приділяємо інтеграції та допомозі українцям у Польщі. Також ми займаємося міжкультурним обмінами, просуванням прав людини, розвитком критичного мислення та об'єднанням меншин і мігрантів. Вже вдруге наша команда організовує цей марш, і ми плануємо продовжувати цю традицію і надалі. Ми щиро вдячні вам, що ви прийшли сьогодні підтримати нас. І з нетерпінням чекаємо вас на інших наших заходах у майбутньому. Сьогодні я маю честь представити двох надзвичайних жінок, які виступатимуть перед вами. Це Анастасія Кончева, президентка фундації Центру інтеграції жінок «Неймовірна ПЛ», мігрантка та громадянська діячка, яка активно працює над підтримкою жінок-мігранток у Польщі. Та Юлія Ярошенко, українська студентка з Одеси, яка вже 2 роки живе і навчається в Польщі. Вони об'єднують свої зусилля та досвід, щоб поділитися своїм баченням і надихнути нас усіх. Також інформація, що після їхнього виступу ми розгорнемо 10-метровий прапор України та розпочнемо наш марш, що протягнеться до самого моста Швентего-Роха. На фініші нас чекатиме продовження заходу. Це буде дружній пікнік, де кожен зможе поспілкуватися та відпочити. Також хочу повідомити, що наші волонтери у зелених камізельках, тут ви можете їх побачити, надають воду, банери та патріотичні брошки усім учасникам маршу. Тож не соромтеся підходити до них і запитувати. Так, і якщо у вас виникнуть будь-які питання, то я, Торда Софія, контактна особа на сьогодні. Слава Україні!
Дзвонь, 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 дзвонечку, ми степовий сковоронечку. Гей, 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 соколи, поміняйте бурі нас і доли. Дзвонь, 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 дзвонечку, ми степовий, дзвонь, дзвонь, дзвонь. Жаль, жаль за дівчином, за зеленою Україном. Жаль, жаль, серце плаче, już nie więcej nie zobaczy. Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły. Dzwoń, 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 dzwoneczku, mój stepowy skowroneczku. Hej, 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 sokoły, omijajcie góry, lasy, doły. Dzwoń, 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 dzwoneczku, mój stepowy, dzwoń, dzwoń, dzwoń. Wina, wina, wina dajcie, a jak umrę, pochowajcie na zielonej Ukrainie, przy kochanej mój dziewczynie. Hej, гей, гей, соколи, оміяючи бурі ласи доли, дзвонь, 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 дзвонечку, муй степовий сковоронечку, гей, 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 соколи, оміяючи бурі ласи доли, дзвонь, 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 дзвонечку, муй степовий, дзвонь, дзвонь, дзвонь.
Hola, I'm Anastasia, 26 years old, from Ukraine, Kyiv. And here I am a ESC long-term volunteer in Arousa Moza. Next February will be the third year of the war, and I can still literally replay the memories of the first day, 21st February 2022, like hour by hour in my head. I don't think that I will be able to forget it at all. There are too many losses. My mother, my grandfather died of a cancer because it was physically impossible to provide quality care in the first months of the war, or even there diagnose the disease. My cousin's husband has been missing for 2.5 years. He was defending Mariupol. My home, my work, my colleagues, classmates, sense of security and normalcy, all of it was taken away by the war. What changed for me? Absolutely everything. I think that I'm just two different people then and now. Even my eyes have changed if you compare the photos from then and now. Now I am more confident in myself, my abilities and knowledge. There has been a change in priorities. I began to value calmness, peaceful routine, my loved one, people, not things. I appreciate the beauty around me. I think I started to live my life more consciously. Here in Spain, during these 2 months, I think I have started to remember what is like to live without constant insight. I want to bring back the feeling of security and joy at home to the people of my country. I want to give support to my fellow citizens and find it here myself.
We decided to celebrate Ukrainian Independence Day in Vilagarcía because we have many people from Ukraine that are living now in Galicia, and we wanted to show Ukrainian culture, to fight for their freedom. When I was 20 years old, I was in Lviv, Ukraine, as a volunteer, and I had the chance to discover the country, the culture, and I was very welcome there by the people. So with this Futuro Sereno, we wanted to the Ukrainians that we have in Galicia to feel the same that I felt those days in Ukraine. So we try to do our best to show our hospitality with them and to celebrate life.
Regarding to the outdoor sports activity, we thought that a march around the village and also a marathon would be a really nice idea and interesting for Ukrainians and people from Vilagarcía. So everybody could join independent they speak or not, because it's just doing a sport and having a journey all together. And finally, I think it was a good idea to have some fun for the Ukraine, because in the march we could join 110 people, and in the afternoon in the marathon, that's kind of more for professionals, around 60 between kids and adults categories.
Ми дуже дякуємо молоді Іспанії і уряду Іспанії за організацію цього заходу в підтримку України, тому що це важливо для народу України і важливо для усього світу.
No, sí, bueno, sí que es fundamental tener estos eventos para que se conozca pues a lo majos que son los ucranianos, como Tania, y lo justa que es su causa, porque en el fondo tenemos que apoyarnos todos unos a otros frente a toda esta gentuza que nos intenta hacer mala vida y lesionar nuestras libertades. Por eso hay que estar con los ucranianos.
Regarding to why I decided to participate in this project, basically I've been attending to Erasmus Plus projects during years, so I knew many people from Ukraine, and I think that this was a very interesting way to help that population that now is in war. And then I really get emotionally involved in this project because we knew people from there and knowing deeper situations, and you have a lot more of empathy. So I think it was a really good idea to join this project.
Well, the European Values Workshop, I decided to organize it because for me it's so important how we defend the values of freedom and also diversity we have in Europe, how we include the refugees also from Ukraine and from other countries that we have in our continent. In this workshop, we are talking about this topic, how we manage in the European Union to have our common values and defend them to the world, and how also we have this relation with Ukrainian country, and how is there going to be the relation in the future. And in this workshop, we were discussing about this topic and having an amazing day talking about that.
So in this project, in Futuro Sereno, we add this activity of mindfulness for Ukrainians. That is important because in this moment, in the middle of this war, sometimes we forgot how to deal and how to manage with our traumas and our stress. So sometimes we need to go to our inner peace and to understand also how we feel, how we are in this kind of moment. So I started to do yoga meditation when I was like 15 years old, and for me it helped me with all this trauma that I had in my past. So I think it's good to have these tools in the midst of the war, in the midst of every situation that you are dealing with.
When the war started, the government doesn't know where they are, so they are like lost, and they don't know what is their situation of education, and like that this is something connected to the European values, so that everyone has the right to have this education and needs to have it also to learn how to read and to write and stuff.
In Galicia, every year around November, we celebrate Magosto, that is a typical festival in our region. And this year we wanted to do it in a different way. So integrating Ukrainians, and we did integration picnic where we shared the food. So Ukrainians made their own food, we prepared our own food, we exchanged it, and we celebrated also through music, some artists there performing. It was a very great experience. To celebrate the European Heritage Days, we organized a quiz with questions about Ukraine, about Spain, and we had participants mixing. It was with couples, with one Ukrainian and one Spanish person. So they discovered more about the other country and also about Europe in general.
Языком было сначала немножко трудно, потому что испанский я не знал вообще. Но в итоге что-то как-то подсуетился и уже довольно хорошо разговариваю. То, чтобы много друзей как бы в Украине было. Иногда созваниваемся, списываемся. Есть лучший друг мой с Украины, с которым мы с колясок знакомы. Он сейчас в Германии живет. Мы созваниваемся, в общем. Ну и здесь, понятно, новых нашел. Вот сидят. И не только эти тоже, в принципе, да. Бабушка с дедушкой мои в Мелитополе, то есть в Запорожской области сейчас, да. Я не знаю, каким образом они поняли, как VPN скачать, но это было очень сложно. И теперь у нас есть VPN, но то проблема в том, что у них нет интернета в основном, но он иногда появляется, иногда пропадает. Там надо довольно дорого платить за постоянный нормальный интернет. По WhatsApp созваниваемся просто иногда, ну, как иногда. День через день, где-то так.
Я в Іспанії вже, мабуть, 2 роки, мас-менос, і з моєю дружиною. Ми в Іспанії, тому що мій дім у місті Краматорськ Донецької області розгатили росіяни. Це вже 3-те місто, яке я тут відвідую. І повсюди ми зустрічали дуже добрих іспанців. Я в Україні мав свій власний невеличкий тенісний клуб. І тут я граю у теніс з іспанцями. І, що дуже добре, місцева мерія дала нам можливість робити це безкоштовно, бо ми постраждали від війни. І хотілося б, щоб війна в Україні закінчилася нашою перемогою, щоб ми перемогли і Європа нам у цьому допомогла.
For us Ukrainians who find ourselves 3,000-4,000 kilometers away from our homes, families and friends, the opportunity to simply meet and speak our native language is invaluable. Integration into the local community is different for everyone. Some of the refugees I spoke to here and they are trying to build new life. Others are waiting for the opportunity to return home to Ukraine, even if their physical home no longer exists. But thanks to such events as the Magosto, like that picnic, the marathon or the Independence Day celebration, Ukrainian Independence Day, people can get out of the state of numbness and segregation and start to take action to communicate with local people, to be included in the community. Hi guys, I'm going to see Sonia from Logos, from Poznan, and we are going to A Coruña for demonstration about Ukraine and with our friends from A Coruña. Привет! Привет! Yes. So I'm so glad to see you offline, and finally. We don't have a lot of time just to talk. We need to go to the train station and to get to A Coruña, because there we have a demonstration for Ukrainians with our partners Aga Ukraina, and they are really cool guys. I mean, so I wanted to meet you with them. That's amazing. Let's go.
В кондиціях перебувають військові, люди лишаються їхніх домівок. І тому важливо підтримувати збори, важливо про це говорити, важливо не мовчати і пам'ятати про це. Дуже дякую.
Ком'юніті, з кимось ми з вами вже бачилися в Вілагарсії, на Магосто, з кимось ми бачимося вперше.
I was so inspired today to meet all these people, I mean Ukrainians, talk to them in my native language, because I had this feeling, and I have it, that I started to forget native language, and it's awful, because even my dreams now they are in English or in Spanish. So now when I have opportunity to hear Червону руту, I mean, I'm absolutely excited, and thank you for this moment. Thank you, Aga Ukraina.
Okay, so what I wanted to say is I'm really happy to attend this event and to be a part of it, because for a moment it felt like a home, and people are so friendly and open here, and I met a lot of new people, which was so nice.
So how is it going now? Well, what I would say, it was a great experience. The Futuro Sereno project gave a lot of opportunities for me to implement the ideas that I had in my mind before, because I was thinking a lot how being far from my home country I can actually help and to show that I'm doing something. And we're implementing a lot of activities, and we can see the results, we can see the changes in the local community, so I'm really glad to be a part of that. Yeah. And how it was for you?
It's for sure that we, in this project, what it was useful, that we can help people to save their connection in this minority of Ukrainians, refugees. We can inspire them for doing different stuff for Ukraine, like for state. And we can also, for example, what was really cool that we worked with teenagers, with children. In this project, we connected people, refugees in different countries, in Poland, in Spain.
So see you in the next project. I hope in peaceful Ukraine. Yes, it was nice.
Oh.
This is